Hello. I haven't posted a video in years, and who's to say if this one will post? Anyways, I just thought it would be a really good time to start documenting, because I just found out yesterday that I am pregnant. I am between 5 and 6 weeks pregnant. I don't really remember when my period was last month. So somewhere between 5 and 6 weeks is what I can glean. And I've always wanted to like document a pregnancy like this, so now is as good a time as any. Anyways, so I thought we could talk about it. So I just found out yesterday. I had some suspicions that I might have been pregnant. A few symptoms. One, I was really tired. Like, I'm exhausted all the time. I've literally been kind of like dozing throughout the day, which if you know me at all, you know I am not a napper. I never nap, but I've been still not napping, but I've been dozing throughout the day because I'm so tired. And my boobs have hurt so bad, like a ridiculous amount. And what really got me thinking I might be pregnant was the fact that I've been feeling so sick. I've literally been like feeling nauseated before I eat and after I eat, and just random times during the day, in the mornings when I wake up. Right now, I'm feeling a little better than I was a few minutes ago, but I've been sipping on some water. And it didn't feel like the flu sick, it just felt like weird nausea. So I was like, I might as well take a pregnancy test. So I took one, it came back positive immediately, like very quickly it came back positive. Which I guess makes sense, seeing as I'm already starting to have symptoms, and you don't usually start to get symptoms until about 5 or 6 weeks. So it makes sense that it was already coming back positive like really fast. Did not have to wait the 3 minutes. Anyways, yeah, so I'm pregnant. That's really exciting. We were not trying. Actually, we were not trying at all. Which I find kind of hilarious, because when we got pregnant with my son Charlie, we tried for like 6 months and just kept not getting pregnant. And then I was pregnant in September, and unfortunately I miscarried, and we tried for probably 6 months again before we got pregnant. And it was just like one accidental slip up and we got pregnant, which is just crazy to me, given our track record. But I'm excited. Nonetheless, I am really excited. I feel like I learned from my miscarriage, as, you know, someone who actively wants kids, I feel like I learned from my miscarriage just to be really, really grateful for all of the time that you have with the baby. So I've been really, just really grateful the last couple of days instead of anxious and nervous and stuff. Because you just never know how long you have, so I just want to enjoy every minute of it, which is what I'm doing, except when I'm just feeling really, really bad. But I do feel like that is giving me hope, like it's making me hopeful that I'm feeling so sick, because I never got to this point of feeling this sick before I miscarried a couple months ago. I got like a little bit of morning sickness, and that was kind of it. So it makes me hopeful that I'm feeling so morning sick, or every moment sick. Yeah, I'm really excited. I am looking forward to what's to come, which is a baby. I don't really think I have anything else to say. I haven't told anybody yet. besides my best friend, because I just literally cannot keep anything from her. We haven't really told Charlie, but I have a feeling he already knows because he started up again with, I'm so excited to see my baby, I'm gonna love my baby, and baby's growing in your belly. So I think he must have just like overheard and gleaned what we were talking about. I haven't told my parents or JD's parents yet because, I don't know, just kind of waiting for the right time. Christmas is almost here, so I thought it might be better probably on Christmas. Anyways, yeah. Symptoms thus far are just, I have to pee all the time, I'm exhausted, and I have a lot of nausea. That's it. Those are my symptoms thus far.
Mom, I found something. It's Mickey Mouse Minecraft.
Yeah?
Come on.
Okay, I'll be there in just a minute.
Mickey Mouse.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Anyways, so that's the update. Pregnant, very exciting. Keep you posted? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, hello. Here's another pregnancy update. It's been a minute. I am like 14 and a half weeks, but it's really confusing because I feel like I don't actually know how far along I am, because for the life of me, I cannot remember when I had my period in November, and then I got pregnant, like whatever, end of November. So yeah, that puts a little bit of a, like it makes it confusing. But I think my due date is the 7th of August. Yeah, so I think that makes me like 14 and a half weeks. I'm doing better. My nausea is slowly subsiding. It was like pretty rough there for a while. I was like dry, and I only threw up like twice. But I would literally like dry heave every single day if my mouth would get too dry, or I would like let myself get too hungry. And it still happens if I let myself get too hungry. I'm actually kind of pushing it right now. I think I need to eat soon, but yeah, so things are good. My pants are starting to be a little tight. Yeah, it kind of like, they're just a little tight. Currently, my placenta is sitting on my cervix, which is not like a super fun feeling, because there's just like a lot of pressure. So yeah, my placenta's on my cervix. I have felt little flutterings, and it's early. Like I don't think I started feeling flutterings with Charlie until he was like, till I was at like 16 or 17 weeks. I need to drink water. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Get that off the shot. Downside to this is if my placenta just doesn't move, I have to have a C-section because my placenta is blocking my cervix. So baby cannot come out that way without the placenta tearing. So that's kind of scary to me. If you've known me at all, oh, there's ice down my sweater, you'll know that I don't really like needles, and I am especially very terrified of the idea of needles going into my spine. I had a natural birth with Charlie almost exclusively because I was so terrified of like the idea of getting an epidural. Still am, so I'm really hoping that my placenta knows. There is time for it to do so. My first trimester has been really, really stressful. I had very suddenly a lot of bleeding, like a lot of bleeding, and I was certain that I was miscarrying again. Had to go to the emergency room at like 1 in the morning because there was like a shocking amount of bleeding happening, like way more than when I miscarried, even like the first time. And as it turns out, I had a subdural hematoma, which is just like a hemorrhage inside my uterus. There was a tear, baby was fine, but the doctors warned me that I could go into a miscarriage because it was like stressful for the baby. So we had like a week of waiting, and I was about 8 weeks or so then, and then a week of waiting. And then I had another ultrasound because I got to have an ultrasound that day, and it was, you know, nice to see that baby was still alive at the emergency room, but you know, it was really scary. And then a week later I had another ultrasound and baby was fine. By that point I was no longer bleeding, and yeah, baby was fine. I was okay. I have been put on pelvic rest, and if my placenta does not move for my entire pregnancy, I will stay on pelvic rest for my entire pregnancy, because your cervix, if it like contracts at all, it could tear your placenta. And not only is that dangerous for me, but especially at this phase, it is fatal for baby. So yeah, I'm not having any fun. I can still go on walks, which is nice, but I have to just be like careful about anything else, if you know what I mean. It's been really, really hard it hasn't been hard to be excited. I am really excited for baby, and like, especially since having a miscarriage so recently, you know, I feel like it's like most, like with, when I was pregnant with Charlie, I had so much anxiety just about like being a mom and just being pregnant in general. I was very, very scared, and with this one I haven't been, and I think a lot of that is because I really don't want to let like fear dictate my excitement for this pregnancy. And it hasn't, but I will say, because there was like such a recent miscarriage and then there have been like some complications, it has been stressful. And it's been hard, like at this point when I was pregnant with Charlie, I had already bought a few things and I haven't bought anything. I think I'll start, I have a 16-week appointment at the end of this month, and just, you know, a couple weeks I have a 16-week appointment. And I think after that, because I'll be like very much into my second trimester, I think at that point I will probably start buying some stuff, being a little less afraid of buying stuff. But yeah, thus far I just haven't, because it's just felt, I don't know, like I just don't want to buy stuff and then, you know, the worst happen. So I would say there's the final first trimester update, and I will give you updates as things go along, I guess.